Good morning and welcome to a sunny and rather autumnal day. And yes, this is an MG4, but not as you know it, XPower. Oh, we've been counting the days until we could get our hands on their new supercar slayer. Now why do I say that? 430 brake, 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, all-wheel drive. Should I go on? And yes, it wouldn't be an MG unless we took it on the road trip. And to that end, this time we're doing something a little different.
Putting the last bit of charge on, ready for tomorrow's road trip.
I like that, Annabelle.
Yeah.
It's like quarter, half, 3/4 and a full tank. So we've got the final quarter. It's kind of strobing, isn't it? Pulsing.
Yeah. Excellent.
Fully charged. So that should have given us about 215 miles. I do like this. Futuristic. Tron. You'll remember in summer we did an EV trail. Well, this time we're going to do our own EV trail. So destinations that Annabelle and I enjoy going to. Grabbing an ice cream. We'll also show you chargers and some of the scenic points too. On that note, keyless entry and no key. So I can literally sit on the seat and there's not even a start button. Tally-ho. Welcome aboard the new MG4 XPower. And it's no word of a lie that it is that quick. I've already seen a Urus and an RS6 and they were surprised by the outcome. It's so quick. The other thing is, because it's all-wheel drive and it's got things like torque vectoring, it can put the power down. And it's got launch control and diagnostics. Now I knew MG wanted to go into like sporty motors, but this is something else. Now, I wouldn't put a 17-year-old in it because the power delivery is, it baffles. So we charged up last night, we've got 100%. Because it's a milder day, we had 214 last night. Today we've got 225 miles. So depending on weather, if it does get warmer, it'll reflect. If it gets colder, it'll reflect. Same little micro cluster and a decent infotainment screen. I'm just so glad it's not the classic version. That was a little laggy, to say the least. Whereas this, nice and responsive, you can see things straightforward. And if I press this, we get a proper breakdown of our EV system. Here's the amazing bit. This retails for around £37,000. Anyway, on that note, let's set off. First stop, Sandside. A lovely little fishing village. And it's got a viaduct and a car park and a chip shop and places to eat. And you probably know the road by now. Well, Annabelle, you looking forward to this one?
Oh yeah. Any road trip we do is a joy, to be honest.
It is. The thing is, it holds something rather special with MGs. It started our first road trips with, it was 3, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
And then ZS. And that was the first car we'd ever road tripped. And we did 1,000 miles in the first 3. Goodwood.
Well, that's it. We've done some really interesting jaunts in different MGs, haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, like the MG5. We took it up Hard Knot Pass.
Also, I went up recently.
You did when Ron was here.
Yeah, exactly.
The MG5.
The difference with this and say the MG5 is this can put the power down without any spinach. Whereas with that, you have to feather the accelerator a little bit.
But it's easy to do once you've got the knack of it.
Yeah.
So.
It's like anything, you get used to it. Well, you can tell it's stiffer, can't you?
Yes, you can. But it's not bone-jarringly so.
Oh no, it's about 20% stiffer springs, I think. Which is enough to make it more engaging on a back road, but not so it's like, say, a Type R.
No, it's still very comfortable.
Yeah. Oh, that is a lovely Defender. This is normal mode. Now, I was barely using the accelerator there.
It felt very rapid though.
It does. It's how dynamic it is. It's so agile around those bends. The thing is, it's not that stiff that it's like a good balance.
Hello, sheepies.
I do like that tone. The thing is, it also means we can be heard. One of my favourite roads. So this is the road to Arnside. The left-hand side, Arnside not. Now years ago, I may have scaled the front of that. May.
You can neither confirm nor deny.
Exactly. Plausible deniability. Now if you look right, see the tower just down there. Annabelle, are we ready for a bit of a...
Oh, not really, but come on then.
So that's 50. 5. Ooh. Retro Subaru. So now we've used 4 miles of range. Not really surprising the way I've been driving. You don't buy this for the economy. You go for the standard range and the long range. You buy this for fun. The thing is, it doesn't deplete it as fast as you might think it would. I mean, yes, currently we're down to 2 mile kilowatt hour ish. Rain sensing wipers, LED lights, MG pilot. That's the thing. It's got all the things that you found and loved in the standard MG4. You've just got more power with it. Whereas, say something like a limited Honda Civic Type R, then they'll take out things to make it lighter, etc. With this, they just give you more power, and more handling, and more control, and all-wheel drive. And you now have e-pedal. You can see our drive modes. Yeah, that's a point. I would like to see a button for the driving modes, either on the steering wheel, the center column, anywhere. It'd just be far easier than having to go through a screen.
Right, we're stimming up a little bit, but it has been raining quite heavily, so let's see how quickly the demister works.
It has
That
reflected.
quickly.
Not just that, it did reflect and it said 209 miles range. It's now gone back up to 220. Here we are.
This is Arnside. So there's lots of places that you can stop and either shop or get a pie or
there we go.
an ice cream or a bit of shopping when you're here in Arnside, and also places to walk. Just look at that view.
Yeah, we're obviously a bit damp angle, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay, so look at that. There's also a yacht club to the left-hand side, and this beach, Annabelle and I have walked from Silverdale all the way here. I've also done it on my mountain bike too.
Yeah.
Now we're heading over there, and then that way. Okay. Well, I think it's a bit cold for an ice cream, isn't it? Anyway. Yeah. It's great to see that you've got a 360 camera. So you've got your reversing cameras, side cameras, and 4 cameras. Now the screen might not be the greatest quality, but it does the job perfectly. Yeah?
Case in point. There you go.
And it turns off after you get to a certain speed. Next stop, Sandside, Annabelle. Oh, look, an Ioniq 5.
Ooh.
That's the thing, we're seeing a lot more electric cars around here. Mind you, they're changing the infrastructure. I mean, look at the delivery van, 100% electric. Right now, Zoe, that is a lovely place to get ice cream.
Yeah, they do Lakeland, don't they?
That's also a gallery, I think, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Lots of coffee shops.
And in a second, I'm going to pan to the left, and I'm sure many of you will recognise the car parking area where we've done 1 or 2 manoeuvres. It's a great place to stop to get fish and chips, stop to watch comets, fireworks, you name it.
And
commune with the seagulls.
Wow. Forgot how deep this is.
Yeah.
The thing is, we've got all-wheel drive. I mean, it's not the lowest car in the world, but it's not the kind of thing you're going to go green laning in. But we also have a snow mode, so that's good for winter.
Yeah.
Wow, it started bucketing down now. It is a bit craterous though, isn't it?
It is. Well, just look how that crater.
Oh, look at the waves coming off the MG. Now, there are no charges in Arnside. However, there are some in Milnthorpe.
So let's head to there next then, through Sandside.
Exactly. Now, you can tell the difference between the other MG4s. With the stiffer suspension, the ride's not quite as pliable when it comes to passenger comfort. The thing is, it just allows it to grip like it's on rails. Combine that with the nice weighty steering, and it's quite responsive too. I mean, I've read reviews where they say, yeah, it's not quick enough. Well, to be honest, it seems pretty good. Now I've eased off, we're getting 3 mile kilowatt hour. That's how fast it goes back up. 97% of battery, 207 miles of range. Now you're probably established by now, this is not going to be an eco run. We're going to have some fun, look at some nice points.
Wow, look
like
at this.
That.
What a view. So this is Sandside. Great for walks, walking the dog, going fishing.
Well, that's it, I've fished here a number of times. I also managed to get a glance kind of marooned on this bit of pavement here when the tide came in. So this is the estuary and it runs into the River Bella. And on the left hand side you can see Milnthorpe and the A590, which will be going down
shortly.
It'd be nice if this pub opens up again.
Yeah.
This is actually famous. It was on one of those television things where people stack it, and a car had come flat out down here and ended up in the front garden, and luckily hadn't detonated one of the gas mains, but that's what they thought it was going to do, like blow up Storth.
Wow.
3.1 mile kilowatt hour. See, it is possible. It's just not cricket.
Well, it's not our aim for today, as you said. It's not an eco run, it's a performance and fun run.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's it.
But it shows it can do it.
Exactly, because not every road trip has to be about economy.
No.
It can be about seeing the sights, enjoying yourself.
So this is the River Bella on the right hand side of us. This runs right into Milnthorpe.
Is that Dalham Hall?
It is Dalham Estate and Hall.
Yeah.
So we've driven through there a few times. You can see pheasants. You can't really stop there, but it's nice to run through. New Bavarian.
Nice colour.
Yeah, that's the colour we had, wasn't it?
Yeah, Brooklyn Grey, yeah.
See booths.
Booths, yay. One of our frequent places to stop and shop. But we've got bounce rather than bump.
I was going to say, it's a comfortable ride.
Yes.
You can't tell the difference though. Okay, so let's just have a look at the chargers that have been recently installed in Milnthorpe. There's 2 Type 2s if I remember correctly, and they're called something like up your street or down that road or just round the corner.
Mini launch there.
Digs its heels in. Okay, so it's around here somewhere. Ooh, Daihatsu 4-track. Don't see many of those nowadays.
No.
Now obviously we don't need charge, but it's just handy to know where they are.
There we go.
Yeah, Charge My Street, plug in, use the app, drive. And the likelihood is they're about 7.2 kilowatt.
And one thing to note in Milnthorpe, parking in this car park is free on a Friday. Yay.
Oh, it's market day, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Next stop. What's on our list now?
Our list. Grange.
3.2 mile kilowatt hour now.
Woohoo.
The cluster's nice and straightforward. You can see vehicles in front. You can see your hours and minutes, the miles, your average mile per hour, mile kilowatt hour. Now up to 3.3. Wow. And obviously your battery charge and your mileage and which driving mode you're in. That's the limit.
I would have blinked and missed that.
Yeah, that wasn't flawed either.
No.
Now we've had a lot of questions about the performance and its launch capabilities. So like Annabelle says, I'm going to do that. Can't not. In a moment we'll do 30 to 50 and we'll use sport. Now the thing that's interesting is there's no spin at all. It just progressively puts the power on as fast as it thinks it can without it losing traction, and it does a damn good job. So let's go to sport now. This is 30. That's 50. Currently we're on the A6 and we're going to be joining the A590 and heading towards Grange-over-Sands, and I think we'll go to Holker Hall. On the left here,
This is Levens Hall. They have lots of different activities to do here throughout the year. They've got a great cafe.
Topiary as well.
Yes.
Look at the hedges.
I was going to say the gardens are lovely. They've got a bakery and a shop as well, which is cool. So a nice place to visit, especially during like holidays, half terms, that kind of thing.
Now we're heading straight, but if you want to go to Windermere and pick up our other road trip, that's the way you go. And then that bypasses Kendal. We're in eco mode, and so we're doing 50, 70. And that's
That was seamless, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear a little bit of wind noise now and some tyre noise. These have got, I think it's Bridgestone Fortuners or something on it.
Yeah.
So they've even put performance tyres on this there.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it?
Well, that's it. You combine that with the all-wheel drive, the torque vectoring, and the fact that it's stiffer, and it's a force to be reckoned with. The thing is, even at this speed, it's not bang, 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 bang. It's taking the bumps as it sees them, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, even as a passenger, you can tell it's bounce rather than bump.
Yeah.
It's comfy.
60 to 65 with about 3.1 mile kilowatt hour.
How much have we got in range? Because we're down to 95% now.
What did we leave with?
227.
Well, we've got 222.
Ah, so we're recouping.
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
I was going to say I didn't expect that. So yeah, you can floor it and still have range coming back to you.
Excellent.
The Lake District Peninsulas. So this is Grange all the way up to Barra, and you've got Rower Island as well, a place where you can go base fishing if you like. There's also a Sunseeker kind of abandoned on the bit of grass. Have you noticed it's quieting down in the cabin? So it wasn't just the car, it was the road noise.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah, we've had, because they've started relaying the whole of this road now.
There you go, you can see it now.
Now we'll be getting off at this roundabout in a second and heading through to Grange. If you carry on up to Lindale, beware now, because there's average speed cameras. The thing is, you've also got the Lakeland Motor Museum up there, and I did a live from there, what was it, last Saturday, wasn't it?
Yeah, a few days ago, yeah.
And that's worth seeing. It's rather quaint. It holds the road so well, doesn't it?
It really does. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the interior. This is soft touch. I like the contrast here with the vents. They're not dust traps either. It does feel very nice tactile. You've got the contrast here on the door handles, and you've got a padded armrest here. Great for long journeys. You've got your wireless charging pad here. Infotainment screen, and we'll have a deep dive into that later. Wireless charging pad underneath. And you've got some charging ports here. And some cup holders, and this centre armrest is big enough for you on the driver. It's excellent.
Not really, this is mine.
It is.
It's mine.
Ben's just being a hog.
Look at the shape of the steering wheel. Love it. Indale, someone's belted the sign.
Yes.
Oh, look. That was like bits of tractory, wasn't it?
So we're just heading
The
into...
W. We've also got Audi here, and Annabelle and I, back in the day, took which car for a test drive from here?
the R8.
Yes, it was a V10, wasn't it?
Mm,
Was it a Spider?
it was.
It travels along effortlessly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I can adjust if I go back to home, go into here, I can adjust the regen. So you've got low, medium and high, or adaptive, which I prefer to be honest, and then the car will do what it sees fit, essentially.
Yeah. Generally that's the case. It's an intuitive system, isn't it? So if you just leave it to do what it needs to do,
Yeah. I
it
mean, look,
really
it's
does take
coasting
care
now.
of you. Yeah.
Let's see which takes the vehicle. Now when you're coming up and you're not in adaptive, yes, it won't brake for the car in front. As you'll see later, in adaptive mode, it does stop, go, and all types of things. You've also got MG Pilot, so if Annabelle turns to the screen now.
Yes.
Drive assist system, traffic sign recognition, front collision assistant, assist mode, detection systems, left, right and centre, pedestrians, bicycles.
Lots of safety.
Yeah.
There's no compromise on safety no matter what trim that you've got.
No. But there is compromise on powertrain. We've just got over 90% battery left, and 217 miles of range. So that means we've done, what, about 18 miles in 7 miles?
Yes.
Now obviously it's getting warmer, so that's going to reflect in the range too, because as we know, when it gets colder it will drop. Now this claims around 240 miles, but realistically closer to 210.
Which is not bad at all.
Well, it's not bad when you think the brake horsepower it's got.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is Grange-over-Sands train station. There's a lovely little promenade here. Ooh, Mark 3 Golf. Mark 4 Escort. And this is the Cumbrian Coastal Way. Train station there. Used to come there with my mum and granddad when I was a child. Now Grange has a Lido at the far end and it's being restored currently. Perfect place for biking, walking. And this started out as Silverdale. It's about a 100-year cycle. This grass will then return to Silverdale and this will end up at Sandy Beach again. Time for pie. It's a smart looking car. Just look at those orange covers. Yeah, 7-year warranty, 80,000 miles. We'll take a deeper look at the car a bit further on in the journey. See that? The wheel spun, but then it stopped it immediately.
And then gripped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is a park on the left-hand side.
Yeah, we spent many an afternoon there, haven't we?
We have.
Feeding the ducks.
And
That's
afternoon
lovely.
tea here. Oops, I'd already indicated off. And alarmed a lot of people in an R8 V10 here.
Yeah.
And all we did was do a little rev. Bear that in mind. Now there's a number of chargers in Grange. As far as I could see, there's some Type 2s. Next on our list, Holker Hall. After pie.
Now, if you're ever up this way and you're looking for a really good pie, you cannot go wrong with Higginson's. They're a butcher's, but they do their own pies. And they'll cook a number of them that you can just pop in and buy one hot. Oh my goodness, they're really, really good. When you want a good pie, this is where you need to come.
You've got cross traffic alert, and also it's like a rear mitigation system. So if it thinks you're too close to a car behind and you're reversing, it will just lock up. Okay, so we found them. Charge My Street again. I'm glad that they've adopted chargers around here, because you've also got installed. Wow.
Ooh.
An Indian. You wouldn't expect to see one of those in Grange, would you?
No.
Wow. That's like something out of Sons of Anarchy.
Mm.
Next stop, Flookburgh.
Yep, let's go. A perfect day for rambling in the lakes.
Isn't it? On the left-hand side, just there, that's where they hold Grange Car Show. And Kent's Bank Station is just down here on the left-hand side, and this is where you walk to when you do the Crossbay walk from Silverdale.
Adaptive.
Okay, if we put it in high, well, you can feel it, can you?
Oh yes, immediately.
And if we put it in one pedal, same weight, but now it won't coast. So, this is Kent's Bank Station. Oh, okay.
So you can have it, you can't have it on adaptive and have it on. Yeah.
Alright. Look at this, the torque, Annabelle. Yes.
Excellent.
Caution, forward collision warning. Thank you.
Ooh, nice one. Thank you, MG.
Have you noticed, Annabelle, it's not bonging and beeping left, right and centre like
No.
some of the other MG models?
No, it's not naggy at all, is it?
No.
Hedge always reminds me of like a little dinosaur or a Loch Ness monster just peering over the wall.
I always thought that was a checkered flag, you know.
I did, yeah.
Ooh, look, Levante. Flying up hills, quite literally. That's the thing with an electric vehicle. Even with, say, I don't know, 150 brake horsepower, it still doesn't matter whether you're on the flat or on a hill, it'll still pull like a train. And you get instant power too. So this is Alethwaite. There's supposed to be chargers in the Pheasant around here as well.
Let's go check it out and see.
Oh, then we've got Cartmel to go to, haven't we, as well?
We have, yes.
So you can see the coast over there. In the meanwhile, we'll have a look at the seats. They're comfortable, they're supportive, they are very dark, but I do like the sporty red stitching, and they're rather comfortable even on long journeys. Now, yes, they're not going to be up to the same standards as, say, the Genesis that we had last week, but that was an optional extra of about £2,000. They suit very well. Isofix points, and that one's manual and mine's electric. Drivetrain, yeah, you've seen it before. So reverse neutral drive and park in the middle. Electronic handbrake, and as Annabelle mentioned, you've got your wireless charging pad here. It would have been nice to see a physical button like in ZS for your KERS and also for your driving modes. It's the same with the interior light in the back. It'd be nice to see one. Electronic handbrake. I've got a footrest down there and some sporty metal pedals. What you get for the money. It's very impressive. Okay, quick update. 90% of battery left, 212 miles. So we're doing extremely well. Despite me trying to use range with performance modes. Oh well. Let's see what custom does, shall we? Horsepower, steering, sport, pedal force, sport. Ooh. Right, okay, so you can tweak your settings too.
Yeah, you can hone it, can't you?
And then you've got your MG pilot, so you can see all this. Alert and braking. Ah, okay. That's what happened before outside the pie shop.
Right, okay.
Towing mode. Wow, that's clever, because so many, there's just no way of towing them. They have to be put on those little wheels and then winched up and put on paddles or back of a low loader. Alert sensitivity. So it's on medium, so it doesn't nag. Immense. Convenience. Oh yes, you can put favourites on the steering wheel, can't you? So you can map, say, driving modes, which I completely forgot.
So you could actually put your driving mode on your steering wheel?
No, it's already on there. I just was stupid and forgot.
Ah, so that's why you don't have a switch or a button down here.
Because you can do that. And I think this one...
It is, look.
Okay, right.
The functionality is up another level on this, isn't it?
So, on the right, you can map it to... Regen. Perfect. So I've now got my driving modes mapped to this button. So everything I was saying that's missing off this isn't now, because I've now modified the custom buttons.
Well, we were going to have a deeper dive into it, which we've just done.
Yeah, now that's clever thinking.
I'm glad that we did it earlier rather than later.
Yeah, well, I think I did it last time, but it was about a year ago, wasn't it?
It was literally a year ago.
In my defence. So we no longer need to use this screen to use regen and driving modes. Immense. Right, okay. Automatic high beam. Find my car response. Off, flashing and horn. Wow. And safety. Vehicle power. Function only available in park gear. On that note, let's roll. I'm going to enjoy my new buttons, which were there all the time. But it's clever that you can map certain functionality. If you're not going to be using driving modes, then you map something like an aircon.
Well, bye-bye Pheasant Inn. We will be back.
We will.
No, they're lovely in there.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's a nice front.
Yeah.
Flookburgh shore. Here we come.
Here we go. And away we go.
Look at the power. Then we'll hold it down after just eating pie.
Yes, please.
Road narrows. National speed, Annabelle. You ready?
Here we go. Yes.
No, I'm going to hold it down.
Thank you. We do live in a lovely area.
We do. We're dropping into Flookburgh. It's such a joy to drive this, especially around these little villages, you know?
I'm glad you're enjoying it so much. But that's it, we had a great time in the MG4 when we took a road trip last year, didn't we? Yeah. So this is just another level up in terms of performance and handling. So this is the square. Each we're going to is this way. It's a heck of a hill. It is, yeah. I guess some wicked regen coming down there. Flowery bin. Some torque. Oh, yeah. Wow. Look at the grin on Ben's face. Oh, wow, that was a porcelain bird. I thought it was an eagle looking at me, or a hawk, or a falcon. I missed that. There you go. A bird of prey. Yes. Now this has got some rather impressive brakes. It's got bigger discs. Also it stops
in about 33.9 metres.
Ah, that's impressive.
I was going to say, but the other impressive thing is when you start looking at cars braking distances of things like the McLaren Senna, that's only 5 metres less.
They'll have to do some impressive tweaking with this then, haven't they?
Yeah. Plus you've got the regen braking, etc. You know, it's just well set up. So here we are, Flookburgh Shore. Last time I was down here, we took a transporter through that.
Oh wow.
Now I'm beginning to think that's probably not a wise idea. I mean, yeah, we do have all-wheel drive, but I am not going to be taking it anywhere where it could be problematic, shall we say.
Let's head over there to the left then.
You can tell it's stiffer on here, can't you?
Yes.
Okay.
But with the performance that it offers, that's what you want, isn't it?
Yeah. Lovely coast, a bit breezy. It's such a fantastic looking electric vehicle, this. Now at this point, the wind became quite unbearable. When you look at the MG4, well, it's an impressive looking car. And it doesn't matter if it's an SE, an XPower, or a trophy. It's sleek, it's modern, it's full of safety. It ticks so many boxes.
Apple CarPlay is really easy to use wired. It's literally plug and play.
Okay, let's go and find a Michelin star. The Michelin star restaurant in Cartmel. So we're just heading through Cark. Lovely name for a pub just up here.
Hello. So this is Cark.
I'm just weighing up whether this is the perfect place to do a launch. Now, I'm not going to use launch control. I'll just use sport off the bat because I'd rather use that somewhere like a private airfield or whatever. Okay, this looks pretty good. Right, so let's engage sport.
You're not going to use your steering wheel?
Oh, of course. So that's sport. 60. My head went, and that's me.
Yes,
I'm used to driving fast cars.
Ooh.
The thing is, it didn't scrabble. And look at the road. It just dug its heels in and went. Castle peeking out over the top there.
Half a mile.
Peeping.
Turn left.
Okay. Yeah,